Hello, this is Luminousz Ztarr. Welcome to the channel. All of my current subscribers, thank you so much for your subscription. Thank you for being my stars, and thank you for helping Luminousz Ztarr channel grow. All right, so on this channel, we are outshining narcissist abuse syndrome. Congratulations on our Ztarr community growing. If this is your first time visiting, welcome to Luminousz Ztarr, and welcome for joining our Ztarr family if you have currently subscribed. Okay, so narcissists can be the cruelest when they are nice. Cluster personality types, such as narcissists, are pretty notorious for obtaining fuel and a strong sense of control and keeping their source supply plentiful by using very diabolical tactics. Now, some people who are involved with cluster personality types, such as narcissists, sometimes they can be in denial about the aftermath of the narcissistic relationship. Now, this is understandable because emotions are involved, okay? You may be married to the person. This person may be a family member. This person may be someone that you really love and care about. So it's understandable that there may be a certain amount of denial about the effects of narcissistic relationships on the person. So it's understandable that there may be a certain degree of denial or cognitive dissonance when it comes to loved ones who happen to be narcissists or having another type of cluster personality. There are two reasons that people are often in denial about the narcissistic relationship. Reason number one, they have the rose-colored glasses on. Reason number two, they often idealize the narcissist and or the narcissistic relationship. And you know, I'm going to go ahead and extend that out to being maybe narcissistic family. Because again, you know, sometimes when we are in denial about the narcissistic relationship, it's often because we love and care about the other person involved who may have a cluster personality. So when it comes to loved ones who may have a cluster personality type, you know, such as a narcissist personality, or histrionic, or borderline, or antisocial personality, when we love and care about him or her, sometimes we can hope that they will eventually change. This is often why the rose-colored glasses tends to stay on for a long period of time, and or they tend to idealize the narcissist or the relationship, or the narcissistic relationship, or the narcissistic family. You know, let's just face it, when we love and care about people, what do they say? Love can be blind sometimes. Very often when the rose-colored glasses stay on for a long period of time, or they idealize the narcissistic relationship for a long time, that can keep a person in the sunken place for quite some time. Now, narcissists and some cluster personality types, they tend to be very loyal to the false self-image. Some cluster personality types have become aware of how they affect others around him or her, or how their personality disorder affects relationships. Okay, so some of them are getting the help that they need, but I'm really focusing on those who are not getting any type of support and or treatment for their personality disorder in this video. Let's just face it, narcissists are notorious for being quite obsessed with keeping their false self-images thriving and surviving. And this also goes for some cluster personality types. Those false self-images can be anywhere from a saint to a martyr to a victim who can't seem to catch a break in life. Okay, now there are certain tactics that narcissists and some cluster personality types use in order to maintain that narcissistic supply. NeuroLinguistic programming can be a way to gaslight a person, because the person that is being gaslit he or she will begin to doubt their own sanity sometimes, their reality, and they may even doubt their own identities. So this is another way, the gaslight technique is another way that the narcissist may use that person against him or herself. Okay, so just imagine being, and some of you don't have to imagine this, but imagine being in a relationship with a cluster personality type such as a narcissist, whereas they're constantly trying to guilt trip you. They're constantly playing with your mind. This is how NeuroLinguistic programming is in full effect. You may start to doubt your own identity. You may start to doubt your own sanity. You may begin to question reality before it's all said and done. So when you're in a relationship with a cluster personality type, such as a narcissist, yeah, there's a lot of crazy making that goes on. And I say they call it crazy making for a reason, because it can actually make you crazy. Trying to figure out all the diabolical tactics and all of the shenanigans that the narcissist pulls can make a person question reality. It can influence him or her to question their own sanity. It can make them question, or it can influence them to question, you know, what's really going on in the relationship. You know, so that can actually drive a person up the wall. Another tactic he or she may use is shaming. Okay, they may play the blaming game. He or she may be manipulative, or they may tend to be using manipulation in order to keep you in the sunken place. He or she may use smear campaigning, or they may start lying about your character. You know, they may get other people to start looking at you unfavorably. They may financially misuse you. They may also triangulate you, or get you or pull you into a triangulation situation. All right, you know, this is where the flying monkeys may come in. Narcissists and cluster personality types, sometimes when they're being nice, okay, they can be their cruelest, because they have you thinking that the relationship is good for you. And again, this is where the gaslighting techniques come in, the NeuroLinguistic Programming. NeuroLinguistic Programming is when a person uses a particular tactic to play with your mind. Subliminal messages are symbolic used. Representations are used. Now this can be in the form of a nursery rhyme. He or she may use your favorite things to pull you in. This is all playing with the mind. So when you think NeuroLinguistic Programming, think about mind games. All right, so the narcissist and cluster personality type, they tend to have many tactics that are quite diabolical in order to maintain their source supply. So do not underestimate how far a narcissist or some cluster B personality types will go in order to keep that source supply very plentiful. NeuroLinguistic Programming is another way to gaslight a person. It's another way to play with his or her mind. There are certain signals that the narcissist and cluster B personality type will look out for to figure out if you're primed for source supply. Now, all the while, the cluster B personality type and or narcissist may use being nice as a form of manipulation to pull you in, whether that's to hoover you back in after they have discarded, or to keep you in the sunken place. In other words, to keep you in the narcissistic relationship. All the while, they add enough honey to keep you around, but they are also adding enough vinegar to keep you guessing what's going on. That is where the NeuroLinguistic Programming can also come in. The signals that they often look for are people who are high achievers, yet they're not narcissists. In other words, this is non-pathological narcissism at play. These individuals, they're high achievers, but they're also able to have great relationships with other people. Another signal that narcissists and some cluster B personality look out for are people who have been traumatized already. This way, the narcissist and a cluster B personality type, it doesn't take too much for him or her to tip the person over the edge. Now, I know that sounds awful, but when the NeuroLinguistic Programming, gaslighting techniques are in full effect, a person who's already been traumatized, yeah, they're already, okay, they're already traumatized, they're already hurting, they've already gone through a lot, and the narcissist and cluster B personality type may look for that. So this way they know they don't have to pull too many shenanigans before the person, well, I hate to say it, but before the person goes over the edge or they snap. Another signal that alerts a narcissist or a cluster B personality type that a person is primed for source supply is that they have a high tolerance for taking a lot of BS. They have a high tolerance for enduring pain, okay? Whether that's sadness, anger, frustration, disappointment. The narcissist continues to pull shenanigan after shenanigan. They engage in diabolical tactics after diabolical tactics. So what does that do to a person? How is the other person affected in the relationship? Well, you guessed it. They're probably going to be going through a lot. Emotional stress, okay? And he or she may be very, accustomed to being depressed. A person can become high on being low. In other words, they can become addicted to the codependent relationship. A codependent relationship is designed to be highly addictive. Narcissists and cluster B personality types, they are not strangers to codependent addictive relationships. Another signal that a narcissist and cluster B personality type may look for is that a person, they lack they lack personal boundaries, okay? A person who has a high tolerance for taking BS often is a person who has low standards. They often are a person who don't have a lot of personal boundaries. So the narcissist knows, okay, I can knock down the walls of this person. I can knock down the personal boundaries. The narcissist and cluster B personality type, they may see that they can get away with a lot in the narcissistic relationship when they're dealing with a person who's primed for source supply. A person who's primed for source supply, sometimes they have a high tolerance for taking a lot of stuff because they don't have personal boundaries, or they don't have a lot of personal boundaries. Okay, so the narcissist deems that person as primed for source supply because he or she knows, hey, I can pull a lot of shenanigans in this relationship. I can engage in so many diabolical tactics, and this person is still going to provide me the narcissistic supply. Tool number 1, practice personal boundaries. Okay, the narcissist and cluster B personality type, they often look for people that don't have personal boundaries, or they don't respect personal boundaries, nor do they practice those. People who do not respect and they do not practice personal boundaries. That is heaven to a narcissist or cluster B personality type. Tool number 2, learn how to trust yourself. The narcissist and cluster B personality type often, they're not trustworthy. Okay, just look at how they have been behaving in the relationship thus far. You're not going to find that they are emotionally safe, therefore they tend to not be trustworthy. Tool number 3, remember, there are some cluster B personality types and or narcissists who will use being nice as a form of manipulation. Okay, this will keep their narcissistic supply plentiful. When a narcissist and some cluster B personality types pay you a compliment, remember, it's often a warning, not a compliment. Sometimes it can even be considered as a psychic attack because when they compliment you, they often set up the bait and switch. Consider yourself warned when being complimented by a narcissist and some cluster B personality types. Compliments by narcissists may be rendered, but what soon follows are the cruelties. What soon follows are their curses or the attempt to curse you. All right, so compliments may be rendered, but curses often are the consequences that follow. You ever wonder why when you're being nice to the narcissist and some cluster B personality types, they tend to become cruel, more cruel, right? They're already being cruel. But ever wonder why it is when you become a little bit nicer, right? They tend to become a little bit more mean-spirited. Well, because they see nice or being nice or niceness as a form of manipulation. That's their forte. See, you're taking something out of their rule book and you're using it against them. That's how they probably see it. It's like, oh, they're being nice to me. I don't trust that. Because a lot of cluster B personality types and or narcissists tend to use being nice as a form of manipulation. But when you flip that around and you're being nice to them, they often see you as trying to manipulate them. Just be forewarned. Beware when they start to compliment you a lot, especially when the compliments really don't merit, you know, they're not merited or they don't reflect reality. In other words, they may be, you know, laying it on pretty thick. And there's nothing wrong with receiving compliments, but as long as they are reflective of reality. But narcissists and some cluster personality types, they don't tend to really think about that. Okay, they're trying to obtain a narcissistic supply from you. You know, just think about that saying, flattery gets you everywhere. One of the reasons why compliments from narcissists and cluster personality types can be seen as a psychic attack is because this often sets up the bait and switch. They're buttering you up to discard you. Remember, narcissists have a vicious cycle of keeping the idealization, the devaluation onto the discard going constantly. So when they compliment you, that can be seen as a psychic attack. Moving on to the bait and switch. The bait is to compliment you. The switch is to make sure that they discard of you after they butter you up or after they have love bombed you. And this is often when the smear campaigning begins. This is why I said the compliments may be rendered, but soon to follow, or the consequences are the curses. But the curses are the consequences for believing the compliments. I'm Luminousz Ztarr. I certainly hope everyone has enjoyed this video. Please post your comments. Don't forget to like and or share. And please check out the description box below for further details to today's video. Until next time, take care of yourself. Mwah.